So now that Aaron Rodgers is going to be back in Green Bay in 2022, the question is, what is going to happen with Jordan Love? I made an entire video on that. Should the Packers trade Jordan Love? Sort of gave my initial thoughts on that situation. But there is one potential scenario that honestly I think could make lots of sense, and that is the Packers potentially trading Jordan Love to the Indianapolis Colts. If the Packers were to trade him, I think that this could make the most sense just because of past history in the 2020 draft. So if we take a look at a few different things, first off, here is an interview from Ian Rappaport after the 2020 NFL draft, sort of regarding Jordan Love, the Packers, and the Colts. So it says this was an interesting one too because the Colts also had some talks about potentially trading up as well. So what the Packers did, they made sure that it was them who traded up, not Indy. They get Aaron Rodgers' successor. Now we will see if Rodgers grooms him or, not. Then also here, Ian Rappaport says, draft notes post round 1. Packers were adamant about trading up for Jordan Love. Amid rumors the Colts would call, Indy never did. So there were some ideas that the Colts were potentially going to take Jordan Love, and that is sort of a reason potentially that the Packers decided to trade up in that 2020 draft to go ahead and snag Jordan Love. So now considering the Colts have just traded away Carson Wentz, and now they don't have a quarterback at this moment who I think is very reliable whatsoever. I do think if they were already interested in Jordan Love in the past, especially now with Rodgers going back to Green Bay, the Colts could be a team that could say, okay, you know what? Maybe we should just trade for Jordan Love. Maybe trade a second-round pick. I know the Colts don't have a first-round pick in this 2022 NFL draft. Maybe trade a second-round pick. Maybe the Packers would be interested in that. And I think when you look at Jordan Love, clearly right now there's lots of uncertainties and unknowns with Jordan Love. We don't exactly know how good he's going to be. I showed you guys yesterday. There's lots of differing opinions on what Jordan Love is worth. Some people said third-round pick. Some said second. Some said that they believe Jordan Love is better than any QB in this quarterback's class. So we don't exactly know, where the Colts stand and sort of how they view Jordan Love. But I do think that there's lots of upside with Jordan Love. He is still very young. He's 23 years old. He's younger than Kenny Pickett, who is, one of the top quarterback prospects coming up in this 2022 NFL draft. And so when you look at Jordan Love, you could say, okay, he didn't look amazing in the games he played, but now he's had 2 years to learn under Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks, if not the greatest quarterback of all time. He's had 2 years under Aaron Rodgers. He's had time to develop, time to grow, and I think there's lots of upside with Jordan Love. And so if you're the Colts, I wouldn't be like, if I was a Colts fan, honestly, I would want the Colts to trade for Jordan Love just because of the unknown upside that is there. Maybe it turns badly, but you're only, paying him on his rookie contract, so you could have a year or two to see if Jordan Love could be good. And if not, oh well, you move on once again, and maybe you lost that one. But I think it's a good risk to take if you're the Indianapolis Colts, because if you are the Colts, the other options out there, maybe Jimmy Garoppolo could potentially be an option. But I feel like with Jimmy G, he's a good game manager. You know what you're going to get from him. But I think that because we don't know exactly what Jordan Love could be because he's still very young, we haven't really seen too much from him. I think there's a lot more potential upside with Jordan Love just because of the unknowns. And just because of that, if you're the Colts, I say, why not take a shot on Jordan Love instead of settling for a guy like, Jimmy Garoppolo? Because if you do bring Jordan Love to your roster, he's counting up a super small amount of cap space, and the Colts right now have around $70 million of cap space. So let's say, for example, the Colts say, okay, Packers, we'll trade you our 2022 second-round pick. Let's say the Packers decide to do that, which I don't know if they would honestly want to trade Jordan Love. Maybe they would at this point, but maybe they want to hold on to him for a little bit longer for the next season or two and trade him later, maybe move on to him eventually, depending on how long, Rodgers decides to stay, because we don't exactly know what that contract looks like. But if you're the Colts, why not trade for a guy like Jordan Love where there's lots of potential upside? There is some risk there. But then you use that $70 million in cap space to build up your entire roster. I mean, that's a lot of money to do things with. And so I think that why not take a chance on Jordan Love there if you're the Colts? And if you're the Packers, that could be a potential option, a potential team that, rumored in the past to maybe want to take Jordan Love in the draft. The Packers do it instead. So I think there's lots of things that could make sense here. But still, of course, the Packers have to decide they would want to trade Jordan Love. And at this point, I don't know if they honestly would want to. I said yesterday in the video about potentially trading Jordan Love. It really comes down to, I think, first off, what does Aaron Rodgers' contract look like, going into the future? Because maybe if there's a way that Rodgers maybe would want to retire after a couple of years, because he was debating it this year. So I don't know in his mind, how long he plans to play. Maybe the Packers have an idea. Maybe they don't. But maybe they do want to hold on to Jordan Love a couple more years and sort of see what could happen there, just in case, Rodgers were to leave. They have a guy that they clearly liked and still like at this moment. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here, because there's so many different things going around the NFL now with quarterbacks, with Russell Wilson going to the Denver Broncos now, and Carson Wentz now in the Commanders. I mean, there's lots of things going around. So I honestly wouldn't be shocked to see Love traded to the Colts, but who knows? Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't happen. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the current situation, on if you think this would make sense, if it would make sense. But if I was a Colts fan, honestly, I would like this idea. Why not trade for Jordan Love? You have that upside there. Who knows what could happen? Maybe he becomes a great quarterback in the NFL, and you get him for a somewhat cheap cost with the second round pick there. Maybe more. Who knows what's going to happen? But that is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you guys want to see more Packers content, and I'll see you guys next time.